You've been following the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively thing?
Bro, Blake Lively, talk about ruin your reputation, and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, they fucked up.
The claims against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. This situation is getting a lot of attention, and for a good reason. People are talking about some serious claims involving Hollywood stars Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and filmmaker Justin Baldoni. Let's break it down in a way that's easy to follow. Blake Lively's claim about Justin Baldoni. Blake Lively said that Justin Baldoni walked in on her while she was breastfeeding, which led to a lot of public backlash against him. But here's where things get complicated.
So Joe Rogan just entered the chat, and he is team Justin Baldoni.
There are messages that suggest Lively actually invited Baldoni into the room herself. If that's true, then the story changes a lot. This situation has sparked a debate. Some people think it's a misunderstanding, while others feel that if someone makes a claim like this, it should be backed up with solid facts.
Get out of it now. He's trying to get out of the lawsuit. And they're like, you are a key part of this.
This is what you get, though.
Joe Rogan and others have pointed out that when serious topics are brought up without clear proof, it can take attention away from real cases where people need help. Did Ryan Reynolds try to push Baldoni out? There are also claims that Ryan Reynolds may have used his connections in Hollywood to hurt Baldoni's career. Some say that he influenced big Hollywood agencies to stop working with Baldoni, making it harder for him to get projects. On top of that, there's talk about how Baldoni, who was supposed to direct the movie It Ends With Us, was suddenly pushed aside. The lawsuit suggests that Lively took over the project, let go of the original crew, brought in a new team, and even prevented Baldoni from having access to the footage, despite him being the film's director. Why people are paying attention. This whole situation has become a major discussion because it's about more than just a Hollywood disagreement. It brings up bigger questions about fairness, influence, and how easily public perception can be shaped.
Joe Rogan becomes the latest celebrity to blast Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
As more details come out, people are wondering who is telling the truth, and what does this mean for the future of Hollywood? One thing is certain, this story isn't over yet. Joe Rogan's strong response. Joe Rogan, one of the biggest voices in podcasting, didn't hold back when talking about this situation.
Joe Rogan is the latest personality celebrity to come forward and defend sweet Justin Baldoni, calling out Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, saying they effed up.
He was frustrated with how Hollywood works behind the scenes and how some people seem to use serious issues to their advantage while ignoring the impact it has on others. Rogan specifically questioned how Blake Lively was able to take charge of the movie's production while also presenting herself as someone who had no control. He pointed out that if she had the power to make big decisions, then it didn't make sense for her to also claim she was being wronged. Another thing that stood out to Rogan was how quickly the media supported Lively's side of the story without asking tough questions. He felt that instead of looking at the facts from all angles, major news outlets ran with one version of the story without considering the full picture. But for Rogan, this isn't just about Justin Baldoni. He believes this situation is part of a bigger problem in Hollywood, where people with influence can control the narrative, silence others, and even damage careers if it benefits them. According to him, this isn't the first time something like this has happened, and it won't be the last. Justin Baldoni's $400 million lawsuit, taking a stand, Justin Baldoni isn't backing down. Instead of staying silent, he has taken legal action by filing a $400 million lawsuit against Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and other Hollywood insiders he believes were involved in the situation. The lawsuit includes several serious claims, such as defamation, saying false things that damage someone's reputation, false light portrayal, making someone look bad in a way that's misleading, promissory fraud, making promises with no intention of keeping them, extortion, pressuring someone unfairly for personal gain, invasion of privacy, sharing or using private information without permission. But Baldoni isn't just relying on lawyers. He's taking things a step further by sharing evidence directly with the public. He has launched a website that reportedly includes text messages, conversations that back up his claims, audio recordings, clips that may reveal what really happened, behind-the-scenes footage, video proof from the film set, testimonies from the film crew, people who were there speaking out. Unlike many Hollywood celebrities who handle these types of situations quietly, Baldoni refuses to sign any NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, or settle behind closed doors. He wants the truth out in the open, and he's willing to take the fight public, even if it means taking on some of the most powerful names in the industry. This lawsuit could have huge consequences, not just for those involved, but for how Hollywood handles these kinds of situations moving forward. Will Baldoni's decision to go public change the way these cases are handled in the future? Time will tell. Joe Rogan's. One word that changed everything: receipts. During his discussion, Joe Rogan didn't just say that Justin Baldoni had evidence. He used one powerful word: receipts. Instead of calling Baldoni's claims allegations or accusations, Rogan framed them as undeniable proof. In today's world, receipts means having solid, irrefutable evidence, like screenshots, recordings, or documents that back up a story. By choosing that word, Rogan shifted the entire conversation. What might have been seen as a he said, she said situation suddenly turned into a battle over credibility. If Baldoni truly had receipts, it wouldn't just be about who tells the better story. It would be about cold, hard facts. This put Lively and Reynolds in a difficult position. If they denied the claims, people would expect them to disprove the evidence rather than just respond with statements. Rogan's choice of words made it clear this isn't just talk. This is about what can actually be proven. Is Justin Baldoni following Johnny Depp's path? Joe Rogan took the conversation a step further by comparing Justin Baldoni's legal battle to Johnny Depp's high-profile case against Amber Heard. At first, Depp was portrayed negatively in the media, with many people assuming he was in the wrong. But as the trial went on, new evidence surfaced that contradicted Heard's claims. Slowly, the public opinion shifted, and Depp was able to clear his name in court. Rogan believes Baldoni is taking a similar approach, choosing to fight back with proof instead of just words. Rather than simply denying the accusations, Baldoni is presenting text messages, recordings, and other evidence to back up his side of the story. If this continues, some people believe the public could start viewing him in the same way they eventually saw Depp, as someone who was unfairly targeted and had to fight to restore his reputation. Ryan Reynolds' response: blocking critics instead of addressing the issue. While Baldoni is making his case public, Ryan Reynolds seems to be taking a different approach, avoiding the conversation altogether. According to reports, Reynolds has been actively blocking people on social media who mention the controversy or question his involvement. This isn't just limited to random commenters. Content creators and journalists covering the story have also found themselves blocked by Reynolds' official accounts. Rogan didn't hold back in his criticism of Reynolds' actions, sarcastically saying that instead of being the bold, unfiltered character he plays in movies, Reynolds is acting more like a Wi-Fi warrior, someone who hides behind a screen instead of confronting criticism head-on. In response, fans have even started mockingly calling him Blockpool instead of Deadpool, highlighting the contrast between his real-life actions and the fearless, outspoken hero he portrays on screen. Is the media ignoring key facts? The New York Times controversy. One of the biggest criticisms in this case is how the mainstream media has been handling the story. In particular, the New York Times has come under fire for its coverage. Instead of investigating both sides, the New York Times reportedly ran stories that fully supported Lively's version of events without questioning any details. Baldoni's lawsuit even names the publication as one of the defendants, accusing it of spreading misleading information that hurt his reputation. This has led to a larger discussion about media bias and whether some outlets choose to protect certain Hollywood figures while ignoring important facts. Many people believe that this case deserves a fair investigation, and if major news organizations aren't willing to do that, it could further damage their credibility. How the internet is reacting, a shift in public opinion. While Lively and Reynolds are still attending glamorous Hollywood events, the reaction online has been very different. Feminist bloggers who originally supported Lively are now questioning whether her claims hold up. Deadpool fans who once admired Reynolds are turning against him because of how he's handling the situation. Casual moviegoers are expressing frustration with Hollywood elites using social justice causes for personal gain. Many social media users are pointing out the contrast between how Lively and Baldoni are handling things. Lively is appearing at high-profile events, continuing her public image as a powerful Hollywood figure. Baldoni, on the other hand, is reportedly struggling with depression, attending therapy, and dealing with the emotional toll of the situation. This shift in public opinion could have long-term consequences for both Lively and Reynolds, especially if Baldoni's evidence continues to gain attention. Are Hollywood's power couples losing their influence? This situation is bigger than just one lawsuit. It could be a major turning point in Hollywood. For years, high-profile celebrities had the power to control the narrative, but now things are changing. With social media, independent voices, and platforms like Joe Rogan's podcast, people are no longer blindly accepting whatever Hollywood stars or major media outlets say. Joe Rogan's massive influence has played a key role in shaping public perception, and his take on this case has made it much harder for Lively and Reynolds to avoid accountability. What does this mean for Hollywood? The video ends with a big question. Is Hollywood losing control over public opinion? For decades, celebrities and powerful studios could manage scandals by controlling the media and public relations. But now, the internet has changed the game. Instead of just believing accusations at face value, people are demanding proof. If Baldoni's claims hold up in court, the consequences could be huge, not just for Lively and Reynolds, but even for major media outlets like the New York Times. The final question is, will this turn out like Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard, with the public rallying behind Baldoni? Or will Hollywood find a way to bury the story? One thing is for sure, this controversy isn't going away anytime soon.